So this might be a bit of a long video, but if you're interested to know more about how you play in the game and what you can improve, you can definitely watch it. So I'm gonna show more than one shot. So here we can see that your take back. Well, I need to show you some standards, right? So let's see when I explain to you what how the swing should be. Is here, right? Hello, Maya. So ideally, when the ball is coming, I'm gonna use this blue. We try to draw a letter L. Blue, please. We try to draw a letter L in how we're going to move our feet and how we're going to transfer our weight so that our kinetic chain makes sense. So we'll keep that for now. And when the ball is coming, you want to then load your back foot with the weight. Here I'm loading my back foot with the weight. And as I'm loading my back foot with the weight, I have my take back, which is at the level of my head, the racket, yeah? So now the take back is finished. That's the end of my take back. So by the end of my take back, my weight has been transferred. My weight has been transferred to my back foot, yeah, and my front foot just started to move. It just started to move, right? When my take back is already completed. Take back is completed. So after that, what comes next is the racket drop. So I'm gonna drop the racket while I move my foot from here to the end of the L. So during this movement, I'm going to let my racket drop. So I start to move my leg. The racket starts dropping. Here. This is the end of my racket drop. Now you will see that the racket went from, instead of going from here to here, it went from here to here. Yes? So the amount of movement went from here to here. But this is because my body moved from here to here. So my body, because my body went forward, the racket moved forward. But in reality, if I would have not moved forward and I would have stayed here without moving forward, the racket would have gone in a complete vertical drop. So let's keep that in mind. But the racket is dropping vertically as I move forward. My foot is in the air, then it touches. As soon as my foot touches the ground, that's me starting the swing. Because you can see my hips. If you see my hips, they will start to rotate. Here, you see? There my hip starts to rotate. So that's me starting the swing here. Here I'm starting the swing. So my racket already dropped. Almost as soon as I put my front foot on the ground, I finish my racket drop, and then I'm gonna start my swing. For this, I want you to see a couple of things. First of all, notice that my body weight is in here. This is where my body weight is. And also, I want you to see that my hips are looking in this direction and my shoulders are looking in this direction. Yes? Now I start my swing. I look at my knee. My knee is bended. Yeah? You can see that my knees, one second. You can see that my knees are bended and my upper body is straight. I am not bending my back. So we continue with the swing. Now my body weight is in here. Here's where my body weight is. I'm shifting my body weight from the back leg to the front leg. Now the weight is in here. So when my weight is completely transferred to the front, that's when I hit the ball. Because you're bringing all the weight from the back to the front, you want to time hitting the ball when the weight goes from here to here. There you hit the ball. There you hit the ball. So for example, you can see my weight is being transferred, hit, hit, hit. So you want to hit the ball when all your weight is exactly finishing transferring to the front foot. Bam! There. There. From the back foot to the front foot and hit. That's when you want to hit the ball. At the moment of impact, I want you to notice that my hips are looking to the front. Actually, to be more precise, they are looking to the front, and my shoulders are also looking to the front. So now, if we examine after this your strokes, you will see that your take back is good because your take back is high at the level of your head. So that's a good take back. And also your take back is happening when you're putting the weight on your back foot there. That's the end of your take back. So far is really good because your weight is on the back foot. Here's your weight, and your racket already finished the take back. That's amazing. That's good preparation. So far, so good. Also, your hips are parallel to the baseline and your shoulders are a little bit more open. Perfect. This is good. Now, here is the problem. You can see that instead of bending the knees, you're bending your back. Look, your knees are completely straight knees. And what you're doing is you're bending your back. And this is going to give you lower back pain and is going to give you very poor stability and consistency because your knees are completely straight. So that's one of the first issues that I see there. The other one is that your racket drop, say your racket is, the head of your racket is here, which is great. And this is your racket drop. This is the end of your racket drop. Here. That's all you drop your racket. So there is very little racket drop. And on top of that, the racket is at this level. And your racket drop should be around this level. You're initiating your swing here. So that means that your swing has to travel all of this to be able to hit the ball in time, which is super difficult because it's a very long swing. It's too long, the swing, way too long, but we knew that already. So that's too much of a long swing. No racket drop. Then let's look at your weight. Right now your weight is distributed here. Now your weight is distributed in here. This is where you should be hitting the ball. Once your weight is in the front. Now, you should be hitting the ball now. But instead, you're still on your swing. So you're not using your body weight, which is this. Bang, you hit. Bang, you hit. Bang, you hit. Bang, that's when you hit the ball. But you are not using the shifting of your weight as a leverage. And on top of that, if we see your shoulders and your hips, you will notice that at the moment of impact, your waist and your shoulders are looking in front. And they're looking parallel to the baseline, which is this line over here. But your shoulders should be looking forward and your hips should be looking forward, which means that you're using the rotation of your body to hit the ball. So number one, you want to use the transfer of your weight from the back foot to the front foot and hit the ball exactly at this moment, to use the shifting of the weight as a leverage. And number two, you want to use the unit turn of your body to hit the ball, so that it is the big muscles of your body hitting the ball and not your arm. But in this case, you will see that it is only your arm doing all the effort here. Only your arm from here to here. That's just the arm. Just the arm. And even you go a little bit behind. Instead of going forward to put the weight of your body into the ball, you're going away from the ball here, away. And so this is essentially the biggest issues that you have with your swing, and we can see it repeated every time. Here, again, good take back, very good take back, early, that's great. You put the weight on your back foot. Now, right now, you should be dropping the racket. While you move your front foot to the front, this is the racket drop. Now the racket drop should finish, but you didn't do it. The racket starts to drop here, here, here. Now you have your weight. Now you're transferring the weight. You should start your swing when transferring the weight. But you haven't started the swing. Here you're starting the swing. So you drop your racket from here to here. That's better than before. Here is the line of the ball and here is the line of your racket. That's good. Good racket drop. You measure it well there. The problem is that it's too late, because you should be in this point there already, or even here. But as soon as your foot touches the ground, your racket should have already dropped. But you are starting your swing here. You're starting your swing here. You're starting your swing, and your body weight is here. So your body weight is already when you should be hitting the ball. But instead, your body weight has been transferred to the front, and your racket drop finishes at the same time, which is completely the opposite. Now you have no weight to transfer, so you have no leverage in that case to hit the ball. You contact the ball, and still your hips and your shoulders are looking parallel to the baseline. So you're not using the rotation of your body again. Yes, and we can see that also in the next one as well. So again, the take back. So again, the take back is good because you do your take back early. Take back is good. But you see, here you should be taking the racket down. And now your take back is late. Here you should be taking the racket down, but you're doing your take back. Now the take back is finished. But the racket drop should be the one that is finished. Now you're crouching. Your upper body is being crouched, and your legs is your knees the one that should be bending, not your back. And now your body weight is here right now. Now your body weight is here. So right now you should be hitting the ball. In this instance, your shoulders are looking a bit more forward and your hips as well. So this, when it comes to rotation, was a little bit better, but when it comes to all the other things, it was not looking that good, yeah? So these are the things that I think you need to work on. You need to work on, make sure that your preparation, when you put that left foot, well, maybe if I can go back to my demonstration. That was a demonstration when the ball was low. So you put your weight on the back foot and the take back. That's the end of your take back. See? Your body weight is still here. The racket is already taken back as I start to move my front foot. I start to release the racket. See? Now I start my racket drop. And I haven't even planted my foot. The racket drop is going, the racket drop is going. I make contact with my front foot in the ground. And as soon as I make contact, I completed my racket drop. It's finished. So now I'm going to start transferring the weight from my back foot to my front foot at the same time that I start my swing to time the transfer of the weight and the hitting the ball together so I can get that energy. Ooh, see, my body weight is here. Ooh, my body weight is here. Ooh, now my body weight is in the front when I make contact with the ball. So I can actually use that power, and you can see that hips are looking forward because I use the turn of my body to be able to hit that ball. And also you can see that my back, I don't bend my back. See, it's my knees the ones that are being bended, yeah? My back actually cannot be more straight, if you can see this. And even on the previous shot that I was showing, which was if I go down, look at the bend of my, look how close it is from the ground. So here I make contact with the ball, and this is supposed to be a very low shot. Bang! Look, the transfer of weight. Wee! There, look at my back. It is a little bit bended, obviously, because this was a very low shot, but most of it is also straight back. So those are the things that I would work with you if we have another session. I have a couple of ideas how we can improve that sequence so that you can have more leverage on your shots, and you have to, if you have more leverage, more consistency, right? Because you don't have to hit as hard. And when you need to hit as hard because you don't have leverage, that's when inconsistencies come.